What's up, guys? Compound Coalition. We're here at Self-Reliance Festival, number 6. And this is a gentleman that was in my presentation yesterday, and I don't ever have an outline or anything. We just open it up for conversation, and they ask questions, and we just go from there. And he had asked a conversation yesterday. Let's start with, what's your name?
My name is Greg Dowd.
Why are you here? How did you get here? Why this one?
I've been coming since the first one, actually. And every time I come, I get to meet some really cool people that are like-minded and, you know, just try to build more networks because I've come to the conclusion that, like, community is super important. Like, I had that kind of lone wolf mentality for a long time, and just seeing a lot of things that are going on in the world, and kind of just was the lone wolf for a while, and, you know, figured out that, you know, I can't just do it on my own. I need other people.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, not right now.
Have you ever had a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
Yes.
Like, you want to, that's your goal, right? Is to have a...
I'd like to have a family.
Okay. Yeah, that lone wolf shit kind of goes out the window.
Right.
It does. What was the question that you asked me yesterday during the Q&A?
The question is how do you combat your negative thoughts? Like, you know, when you're trying to work on something and, you know, you get these thoughts in your head that just say, you know, you're not worthy of that, of any kind of success, or, you know, just that negative nagging stuff in the background of your head that just is like, keeps you from pushing forward. And I guess how you can overcome that.
What did I say?
You said focus on yourself, focus on, like, getting your fitness together, work on that, and, you know, don't give yourself excuses. Just go ahead and, you know, document that journey on getting your stuff together, get your body right. And
what did you say in front of 5,000 people yesterday that you were going to do? I know you're thinking, there's not 5,000 people there. Yeah. By the time they watch that,
yeah,
and that goes out there, it's 5,000 people.
Start the domain, get all the social media, start documenting my fitness journey, and get it out there and start trying to help other people do that as well.
So what did you do? Where are we at?
So I just got the domain through GoDaddy.
That's where I hold all mine. I got like 75 of them.
Okay. So, yeah, I just
and
purchased...
I'm going to buy yours if you don't fucking go get the rest of them. So,
all right. So I purchased taketheride.org.
I like it. It can go in a lot of directions. It can evolve. It can change. You have a podcast. What's the name of your podcast?
The name of the podcast is the Tinker Tribe Podcast.
I really like that. I think Tinker Train, you could do an intro that's like a music box, some fucking train track sound coming into it. Could be very unique and identifiable on every fucking episode that you do. What is the podcast about?
It's the Tinker Tribe Podcast.
Right, I know, but I think Tinker Train, because there was like an Ozzy Osbourne song that had that in there or something.
Oh, okay.
So what is it about?
So because of my background in engineering, I try to go out and find, like, some tech solutions for what's going, like, to help people become more free. I've talked to folks in, like, the agorism communities, like, kind of underground stuff, where we're networking underground and sharing some of the lessons learned that I've had building different projects, and my journey going more toward the self-reliance aspect. And then I bring on guests that are like makers, homesteaders, inventors, you know, people that are in the agorism mindset.
Tell people what agorism is.
So agorism, it was created by this guy, Samuel Edward Konkin III, and it's a action philosophy of anarchism. And so self-governance, and you're using the markets, but you're using not the above ground markets to do a lot of your trade. And so the idea is that if enough people use these black and gray markets, we create a parallel system outside of the traditional markets, And we also withdraw our support from the state that way. We vote with our dollar.
So what is anarchism?
So anarchism is self-rule.
Okay.
Self-rule.
Yeah.
Which means you take all the responsibility for your life.
You also take all the rewards. You don't have to split them with anybody else.
Right.
People hear anarchism and it's been co-opted by, government law enforcement to be some crazy kid with a fucking mohawk and a skateboard, spray painting signs and lighting buildings on fire. And it's not at all that.
No.
It's not at all that.
It just means personal responsibility in my mind.
Yeah. So how many podcasts do you have?
Right now I have over 100 podcasts.
That's legit. How long did it take you to do 100 podcasts?
That's been going for about 4 years now.
Now we're going to have to step our game up. How long are your podcasts?
I do longer form ones, like 2 hour, like long form, trying to get into deep with an interview guest. And then I've shifted now to doing more like hour long ones if I'm going solo. And
what do you mean solo? Just without a guest?
Without a guest.
How do you use your guest sit next to you?
Now I do a lot of the guest interviews over Jitsi.
Never heard of it. We use StreamYard.
Jitsi is a open source video conferencing application, and it's.
Will you message that to me, please?
Yeah, Jitsi Meet.
Gypsy Meet.
Jitsi JITSI .meet is how you can find that, but it's all open source.
Is it on the dark web?
No, it's not on the dark web. But I learned about it.
Have you ever been on the dark web?
Just trolling through like Unblock It.
I figured for sure you're gonna be like, yeah, bro, I don't use Google, I only use Tor.
I did that for a while, and the speed of Tor and everything, it's just kind of like a little bit cumbersome for some of the things, but and then the Tor, there's not very many Tor nodes. So
I've never been there. I've only seen it on YouTube. I've seen the dark web on Google.
So it's actually like if you're using Tor, then like people are like, okay, well, what's this guy up to?
So how much time do you think you put a week into doing your podcast and social media and such?
So probably maybe 3-4 hours right now.
Do you have monetization in any manner for it?
Not yet, no. I started this just in the Steemit cryptocurrency community as a audio podcast, and I was bringing on other people in that community, and because they're doing some really interesting things.
Is Steam still around? Is that still a thing?
Steemit is still running, but it forked into another community called Hive. They just copied the code and did a hard fork and started a brand new platform, and it's all like the free speech people from Steemit, because it was taken over by this guy Justin Sun, and he started to censor people on Steemit.
So we don't like that guy.
We don't like that guy. I mean, we don't like that.
So I take it you probably don't have an Instagram and a Facebook because you hate Mark Zuckerberg.
I had a Facebook, and it's still out there, but I don't use it.
You got a MySpace?
Oh yeah, from back in
my MySpace is
from back in the day, man. Yeah.
So where can people hear your podcast?
The biggest platform is YouTube.
Okay, so they're on YouTube.
Yeah.
Are you gonna rip the audio and load it up to like into a syndication so that it just goes to normal podcast?
I want to do that, and I want to figure out.
Here I am telling this guy this, and I'm like, no, we're not doing it. I only won't do it because they keep fucking hounding me about it.
Yeah, I want to figure out something where I could do that a little easier. There might be some like AI tools like Jack was talking about.
They're super, but
that can rip all that stuff.
There's not a monetization, but when you're waiting for monetization on it, the money's never going to come from the monetization. I spend more money every week doing this than we've made in 90 days ever.
Yeah,
it's not there. But I think that if we put it out for free, then the larger audience come, and then the company's like, hey, we want to jump on board and we want to sponsor the show. That's where the money comes. So you have to give it for free before you're ever going to get anything for it.
Right.
And all of our stuff is behind a paywall. You got to pay $10 to be able to see it. It comes out for free 90 days later. But I think if we just released it, because dudes are listening. I mean, fucking everybody in here is like, hey, I listened to that guy's stuff. I listened to that guy's stuff. So if we put it out there, I think we have enough of a dam built up that when we let that dam go, it'll flood everybody's villages, and they're like, All right.
Yeah. 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 I mean, my goal is like, I just want to have people realize that, there's a different way that we can be living, and there are actionable things that you can do with a lot of the technology that we have now.
So are you doing this to save people and change minds, or are you doing this so that you can do what you want to do and live a different life also?
I would want to do that. Yeah. Is to change people's minds and live a different life myself.
Why do you care?
Because I have come to some realizations. I had a pretty big tragedy in my life. I lost my brother to suicide. And from that point, it was either like make the decision to let that destroy me, or to do something positive and to find a purpose. And so I feel like this is my purpose.
How long ago was that?
That was, we're actually coming up on the anniversary of it. It was about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was really tough.
Older brother or younger brother?
My older brother, and so he had Asperger's, and so he was a little bit different than everybody. And so people picked on him a lot. And so me and him were like best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asperger's guys, big and small, are they all big, or is there a physical look to them? I say that because we have a friend with Asperger's.
My brother was a bigger guy, so
and he's a fucking monster.
Yeah, he's big. He was strong,
Yeah.
big and strong. So he was actually a little taller than me, and strong, really strong guy. Yeah, big heart too, super heart. Like, he would just pick up people, go take them to the gas station, buy them a shower.
Yeah.
And he would do stuff like that. So
Would he be proud of what you're doing right now?
I hope so. Yeah, I think he would be.
What would make him more proud?
That I, try to help more people and step up my game, and, just quit making excuses.
So how do you help more people? What is helping more people?
I think a big vision of mine is to be able to put on workshops and teach courses on solar, aquaponics, off-grid building.
Okay. You can do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been looking into how I can create these online courses.
So people aren't going to come to the workshop. They're going to do it online.
Well, I'd like to do both. I'd like to offer an online course.
Where do you live?
In Priceville, Alabama.
What does your place look like?
Well, currently I'm living with my parents, but
Okay.
I have a little piece of property that I started to work on and put a shipping container down there. I had somebody come out there and steal a bunch of my stuff because I wasn't there a lot. And so I had to move some of that stuff out of there. And so I'm kind of, right now, I planted a bunch of stuff down there for perennials and kind of trying to do a permaculture food forest and everything down there. So I've ran across another couple during the activation tour when Derek Brose and John Bush were
I was going to ask if you
Derek
knew John
Brose
Bush.
was traveling around, and got to talking to them, and they have some property that they want to get a community going because they can see what's coming, and they've been doing the permaculture thing and growing their stuff for a long time. But they're just, an older couple, and, they want to have a community.
So do they have property?
They have property. They
Older
have
couples
60
need younger
acres.
people
Mm-hmm.
that can do physical things.
Yeah. Yep. So we've made an agreement with them, and we're starting to build starting with a greenhouse out there on that land and installing a well. And the idea for the development of that is to be able to have a source of feed for our animals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to have water first.
Yeah. So water.
What's that well look like?
We've got a well driller that he's been in contact with that is coming out there, and we're still waiting on an estimate on what the drill. Well, he said it could be like up to maybe $5,000 or something like that to come out there and drill the well, and we're gonna agree to split the costs on that. And he's already got the solar pumping and all that equipment. We're just gonna have to go set it up out there.
They're taking 2 years here to get a well in.
Yeah, they're really backed up.
You better call everybody you can call, and then just wait for the one that shows up.
Yeah. So,
is there any ponds, anything on the property, any water?
There is really close to a water source that's connected to the Elk River, and so the property is connected to that river,
mm-hmm.
and so there's access to that water down there. But we'd have to pump it uphill.
So the property is not flat.
No.
Okay.
No, there's sections that slope down toward the water, and then
how big is that property?
60 acres.
60. Mm-hmm. So, are you any structures?
Yeah, I have a steel building out there, and there's a little hunting shack.
How big is the steel building?
It's a 20 by 20.
Where is it on the property? High point or low point?
On a high point.
Then you do catchment off of there. Get your tanks in there, and it can just be IBC totes for right now.
I've got a bunch of IBC totes.
Run 100 of them in row. Start looking on Marketplace. Any tank that's 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 has the same footprint by the tallest one you can buy. It'll hold the most amount of water, and then you can just gravity feed that water anywhere you need. But while you have do any electricity on the property?
Not yet.
Okay, so you can run it off solar. You can run it off batteries. You can run an inverter. Whatever you have to do, we can move the water.
Yeah, I have a trailer that's all set up for solar. It's an enclosed trailer that I can pull out there and power everything.
I have a Honda trash pump, and I have a water pump with a Honda on it also. And we can run water from the bottom of the property all the way to the top. We filled that pond running it with 2-inch hose.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then when the pond was flat, we took all the fish and added them out and put them in the other pond.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's all, dude, we've done every bit of that.
Yeah, with the water catchment.
Yeah, I mean, we were going to, at the top, I was going to put in an awning just to catch water. We were just going to put like a patio cover up there just to catch water.
Yeah. We were talking about, okay, first thing, get this building up, and then
and you need to document every piece of that. Just shorts, just document it. Take a GoPro, get somebody that'll cut that up into shorts. The shorts are going to drive the attention. There's a ton of YouTube channels. Modern Day Civilian, I think is his name. And it's all just badass farming shit. And I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. Where's the video? And there's no video. So he's doing some marketing. This is all a pre-release plan for algorithm. But yeah, you can totally do that.
For sure. Yeah, I have a lot of the stuff, already. And
there's other dudes out there, man. You're not the only one that wants to do this. And there's plenty of dudes that are like, man, if only I could just find some place where I could just go camping on the weekend in a tent and start developing this. And I'd really like to mess his place up before I buy mine and mess it up. Like guys are just like that, man. Yeah. You can find, I'll bet you there's 3 people here that are within 15 minutes of you right now.
Yeah. I was talking to several people and the hemp folks.
Super cool, right? They just built a whole trailer out of that shit, even the interior.
I just bought their online course and I'm going to go up there and take some of the week-long workshop that they're doing. Cause, yeah, man. I mean, I have a little bit of construction experience, but like I haven't built I built like a little shed, but I'd like to build it, something that's going to be really nice and that, I can raise a family in someday and stuff. So, yeah, and I want to do that. So,
you mean you're going to do that?
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can, man, if you have an auger, you can drill holes in the ground. They sell these big giant carpet tube looking things. You put them in the hole, you pour concrete in those. Those are your piers. Now you build a level badass deck, or even just a really shitty badass level deck. And then you just build your A-frame house, or you build one of these, or you set one of these, or you put a yurt, or there's dudes buying these glamping tents. They're like these canvas tents off Amazon. They're putting them on a deck and they're Airbnb-ing those things.
I've explored that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be because they're not too expensive to get something started right away. Yeah.
And when you have your events, you have military GP tents that you buy from Derma and you set them out there and you just set 6 of them in a row and you're like, hey, we're having the event. If you want to stay here and not have to bring all your own stuff and mess with it, I got a tent set up. It's $100 per person per event, $100 for the family or whatever. Yeah. And you just Airbnb that thing out. It's $50, $60 a day, whatever.
Yeah.
And you just tear them down or whatever. make a little bit more money just on the property that you're already there at
after the event. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So things are going with that. And we were out there like the couple weekends back and clearing some of the property and getting the building laid out. So, and we've got a local Freedom Cell group, and we get together, and they came out and helped out.
So is John Bush part of Freedom Cell, or is Freedom Cell John's thing?
So
did he invent those?
So I believe the story is that he was the guy that kind of developed the concept and kind of championed it. And then like him and Derek got together and said like, we got to make this like a bigger thing. And so it comes, I think it stems from the idea, some of the ideas from like Bob Podolsky, and these like groups of 8 is like an ideal group size, and seeing like if you can create these kind of groups and then network them, then you can create like kind of an underground network.
It's like guerrilla warfare shit. 3, and then you become 6, and then you become 9, and then you dissipate back into the wind. You come together. That's what Tag does. Life Done Free, right? He just met somebody last time they were here that's already moved out there. There's like 100 families there.
Wow.
They just built a dude's house. It's like 3,600 square feet. They built it in 2 days.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. I'm like, how many guys there are like in the way? He's like, nobody's really in the way. You just have to have people that manage people. He's like, but 5 people have construction, like they build houses. Like we had it dried in 2 days over the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. You just got to find the right guys.
Yeah. So do what you're doing, do what you believe is the right thing. And then it's easier to do. Show it. And the people that believe in that'll show up through social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah, man. Yeah. Just get out there and got to film it and get the guys involved.
Stay busy.
Just always.
So back to his girlfriend. Like what,
Yeah.
if you could pick one, if you could order one right now, what would she look like?
I would like her to be, a little shorter, a little shorter than me. Like, just maybe a little like kind of a rounder face, soft face, and aligned on a lot of things that I'm aligned with.
So the beliefs are more important than the looks.
I think so.
It's easier when she's not ugly though.
Yeah.
Okay, so not an ugly girl.
Yeah, she didn't have to be real knockout, but
but you would take that.
Yeah, for sure.
If we're building her, you might as well build what you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you worried she's going to hear this?
No.
My girlfriend, which does not exist. Speak her into existence. You ever heard of manifestation?
I have.
I'm going to take you inside and introduce you to a dude, and he's going to swear to God up and down and jump in front of his fucking wife that he manifested her.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard about it from like Tony Robbins and stuff.
Yeah.
He talked about finding his wife. He wrote down everything he wanted in a wife.
Do you think these billionaires are just walking around telling us peasants about manifest? Do you think they get anything for telling us that? Maybe there's something fucking to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I do believe that there is.
Your frequency is what you frequently see. Okay? Your frequency is what you frequently see. Whatever you operate within, it's where you're going to stay. So when we operate in negativity, and I thrive off negativity. These guys probably wish I was a lot more negative because we'd all have a lot more money right now, because I will spend fucking 48 hours to just Facebook fight and just be an asshole to some dude because he said something.
Yeah.
But we can't monetize it like we used to, right? We used to use the traffic. We would draw the attention. I'd use the dude's name as a discount code, and then you can get 20% off of all your orders, but you got to tag this guy, and here's his phone number. You might as well call him too. Now they got this thing called cyberbullying, so it doesn't work the same. They lock our social medias down. But we made millions of dollars because of it, like really quickly.
Yeah.
But when you start maneuvering in positivity, you're more peaceful. You don't have to look over your shoulder. You don't get death threats. when people come up, you're not like, it's not like have a prepare to kill, plan to kill this dude. Like, is this guy here to kill me?
Yeah.
And people walk up and they already have their hand extended and they're smiling, right? You could totally trick a dude that way, but it's not, you just have more better shit coming to you. And when you operate in positivity, you are at peace.
Yeah.
And you have restfulness. I think a lot of the stuff that happens in the world and the fear stuff is fight or flight, because it keeps you in that cortisol level, and you can never really rest. You'll go to sleep, but you won't ever rest.
Yeah.
And then you're tired and more tired, so you need to sleep more. I think it's about preventing people from achieving their true capabilities.
Yeah.
Because then you have to rely more on the systems, right? The last thing they want is you not to need them.
Right.
The systems.
Right.
And the system, I truly believe, is a dying animal right now that is very fucking dangerous, and it is in a small room, and you are in that room with it. Stay away from that thing. It might not even mean to kill you, but it might nick you and infect you in some manner, right? Look how many people, it's a trip, right? All these people during all the crazy school shit, and we're still talking, it was still happening. It's almost like, okay, crank it up a notch, crank it up a notch, crank it up a notch. And you can simply just go, no.
Yeah. I'm not going to participate.
We're not participating in your reindeer games. This is not my new normal. And you just simply didn't take your kid to school. Boom. Hey, where's Johnny? Hey, where's Johnny? Yeah, Johnny doesn't go to your school anymore.
Right.
But it's a weird, because when you're in the school system, they will bring you to court and haul you to court and put you in jail as a parent because your kid missed a couple of days of school. When you simply could have been like, my kid doesn't go to school here.
Right.
A lot of it, and I think a lot of it is that way. We're just not participating.
Right.
We no longer mind because you no longer matter.
Exactly.
So build some things. Like we have gentlemen here all the time, like, well, the system is in ruins. What do you think is going to happen? I'm like, they're like the jihad, it's the call on jihad this weekend. And I have no doubt. I mean, shit does appear to have happened all around the United States.
Yeah.
You know where some shit didn't happen? Didn't happen right here. You know where we didn't have a COVID lockdown? We didn't have a COVID lockdown right here.
Right. Yep.
It just didn't, like, there were COVID lockdowns in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
We would drive up to a place we frequently go, look in the window. I'm like, they look closed. We'd go to leave. They'd open the door and like, hey, we're not closed.
Mm-hmm.
It was like speakeasies.
Yeah.
Even during Prohibition, all your politicians that were spouting Prohibition, they were all in the speakeasies with all the gangsters.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Kennedys made all their money on Prohibition.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then they changed the laws.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
people are going to do what they're going to do.
That's right. It's legal for a fee.
Exactly.
Oh, I can't have a 60-foot flag? Oh, it's $1,000 a day? Here's a check for $365,000.
Yeah, it's an extortion.
That's what Trump did.
It's an extortion.
Mm-hmm. It's also a tax write-off.
Mm.
I don't know if that is. But if you get the right account, if you have those problems, you just don't make enough money.
Yeah.
Make the money. Transition, right? Your thing, like you do prosthetics right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, do you help anybody? You're like, yeah, I help a lot of people and little kids. And I'm like, well, there you go, man. Fucking,
yeah.
You have social media for it. Like just show people, man. Show people what you believe in.
Yeah.
And those people that believe in that will begin to believe in you.
Yeah.
Right, you got 100 ways, man. And the company, it can deviate, right? I was talking to a dude that was building some metalworking stuff. And I'm like, you don't realize it yet, but your ultimate goal is to no longer be a welder. Mm. And you can do that through social media.
Yeah.
So you can't sell enough of these. You have to cut and do all the work on them because you sell, 100 of them a month or whatever. But through social media, you could sell thousands a month, and then you could Alibaba it. You could job shop it. Instead of chopping them, you could water jet them. And then you no longer do this. And then now that you have this product, you should anodize it, right? Because dudes like red stuff, guys like black stuff, guys like blue stuff. Now you can target market dudes that wouldn't have just bought a raw aluminum product.
Yeah.
And I go, you're going to connect with them through social media on all these different platforms. And what you're going to find is you're not going to have to do that work anymore, that dirty ass welding and that grinding and that cutting. You're going to have some companies just going to ship them to you. And then when you really get larger, somebody's going to do direct fulfillment, and you're just going to build social media. And you can do that from anywhere.
Yeah. Right.
Like the question I've asked everybody, especially this event, is, do you love what you do? There's some dudes out there with an enormous company doing body armor. And that company started from their father, who was making MRAPs for the United States military contract. Like, they got a lot of money.
Yeah.
I said, do you love what you do? He goes, I love it. I go, if you had $100 million tomorrow, you woke up and you could do anything, would you do this? He's like, nope. So what would you do? He said, I started a fundamentalist Christian school. So it's interesting. I have a man here that ran a fundamentalist Christian school for 15 years. You guys should know each other. Do you really want to start that school?
Wow. Yeah.
It's just a deviation, man. Everything's a stepping stone.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I like that.
How far you live from here?
About a 2-hour drive from here.
We should stay in touch.
Absolutely.
Like once a week.
Okay.
You agree to that?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Are you going to have progress every time we talk?
Yeah.
I need you to do this because I need to prove that what I'm telling you is correct.
Yeah.
I know it is. I don't want anything for this.
Yeah.
But a year from now, I just want you to say, hey, man, I sat down with this dude and he said these things and maybe he was a little mean to me.
Right.
But it works. And then I want you to show it to fucking 3 other people.
All right. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Where do people find you if they are interested in your progress and doing some kind of commerce with you?
So right now, check out my YouTube channel, the Tinker Tribe Podcast, and then the website where you guys can check out all the educational stuff, all that stuff that I'm going to put out is going to be taketheride.org. And you can find my other links through my YouTube channel in the description of the videos.
And how do people, what can they buy from you?
Right now,
You better fucking make something up if you don't have something. What can they buy from
I
you?
have a laser engraver that can do custom laser engraving.
What kind of what laser you got?
It's a Snapmaker 2.0 3D printer, laser engraver, and CNC router all in one system. And I got that so I can make merch. And I kind of have an idea of doing like, meme kind of things on the laser engraving.
No, scratch the idea. I am going to speak it into existence.
Yeah.
Now, that's your turn.
I will do custom pieces and release them monthly and set them out as, if you want to support me, you can get these custom laser engravings.
Shit, that's way better than I was gonna say. So you just did a 12-month merch box, and if they subscribe for 12 months, you give them the Christmas for free. Badass, right on. I just learned something. All right.
I built this thing from the bottom, they tore it down, I rebuilt it. I give myself a task, you can bet your ass I fulfill it. Yeah, man, I'm talking about Willis, one of the realest to try. My family.
John, I hear you talk about, getting rid of your cant. In my own life, I get kind of a lot of negative thoughts coming through a lot of times, and sometimes you feel like you're really not worthy of success, at least for me anyway. I don't know, what kind of tips maybe do you have of like a routine or something that you do maybe personally that helps you get rid of that cant?
What do you do?
I work in a prosthetics and orthotics shop.
Do you hate that?
No, it's kind of helpful. Like, we help kids that have disabilities be able to walk again. This isn't my career that I started off with. I started off in engineering, but I kind of was a government contractor for a long time and just didn't agree with that anymore, and left that and picked this up. I'm doing it right now, but I do a podcast and things like that, and trying to push myself in different areas. And but yeah, those negative thoughts come in sometimes.
What are the negative thoughts?
Just not, being able to live up to maybe my higher self, or like just being able to like get the actual shit done sometimes.
You have kids?
No, I'm a single guy.
Right on. You ever been to federal prison?
No.
You ever been to prison?
No.
Jail?
No.
We could put you there a weekend and you'll come out with a completely different mindset.
Do what?
You're bored. Get yourself fixed. Breathe heavy. Leave sweat and goo on the ground.
Yeah.
Fitness fixes shit. If you're in your head, you're not doing enough fitness. I can chase your ass around with a truck. You'll forget all about being sad.
Hell yeah.
You help little kids who can't walk. What's your fucking problem? You have a podcast. What's your problem? What are you talking about on your podcast?
Trying to get people to see that there's some white pills in this world that we can, use what we have available to us to make a better future.
What happened to these kids that they are missing limbs?
There was a girl this week that my practitioner came and told me that this girl couldn't walk, and we put her in this brace, and she was able to walk, and told her teacher that she didn't need her wheelchair anymore. You
think she was happy?
Yeah.
She thought she couldn't walk? Think she's worried about not living up to her potential?
Nah.
Well, then you have to for them. Why don't you start a social media page, Instagram, just showing these kids progression? You don't have to name the kids.
Yeah.
Like, all kinds of terrible shit can happen to you in a heartbeat. Some people are going to lay down. Some people get shot in the finger and die. And then other people lose multiple limbs and fucking climb Mount Everest. The truth is, I don't understand your issue. I don't have it. I just don't. I had a federal search warrant executed at my shop. I had 14 agencies. I was on the cover of every West Coast newspaper. I was watching my shit happen on CNN for 3 days in a row. I was out on probation for 24 months, but I knew I was going to prison. They were saying 13 years. I would forget that I was going to prison. And I'd be out doing what I was doing for a couple weeks and like, oh shit, I gotta go to prison. Went to prison, knew I had my business and my kids. Was in prison in Lompoc for 22 months, came home, and then 30 minutes of being at the halfway house, because you're still in custody of the feds, I was served with divorce papers and a restraining order. Now I don't have my business, and I don't have my kids. To get out of the halfway house, you have to have a job or go look for a job. So I'm able to go look for a job. And I walked into a pizza place and I said, I'm on federal probation. I just got out of prison yesterday. And you're going to give me a job. I don't have any identification. I don't have a social security number. I have nothing to prove who I am. You're going to hire me and I'm going to come to work tomorrow. You're going to give me a week to have all of my documentation. And if I don't, you don't have to pay me. And they said, okay. So I started going to get my documentation. I went to my bank and I said, where'd my money go? I left at 120 grand in the bank. I had 100,000 accounts receivable. And he said, 3 weeks ago, your wife walked in here and closed this account and it went to this account. But I had zero money. So I know, does that fix anything, right? So I was working part-time at this pizza place, but I didn't want to stay in the halfway house, so I went and looked for another job. By the end of the week, I had 3 jobs. I was working 80 hours a week. But I had a cell phone. When I left, texting didn't exist. So I'm driving around. I'm able to drive around doing pizza stuff. Really, I drive and then take a long time to get back because I'd stop and talk to people. But I called my vendors and I said, hey, I'm back. We've done a lot of business. I don't have any money, but I need you to believe in me and I need you to take some of the end cuts and the webbing and stuff and send them to me. Will you do that? We don't know. But then stuff started showing up at my mom's house, and some people sent a couple rolls of webbing and a couple pieces of material. And I just stayed busy. And I made $960,000 while on federal probation, while working 80 hours a week in my business, SOE, out of my mom's garage.
Hell yeah.
You're just not busy enough.
I hear that, yeah.
And you need to go someplace where people are going to hold you accountable. You need to walk in a gym and be like, hey, Hold me accountable, fix this. You need to start your journey right now, whatever it is, and tell the world. Because people are assholes, especially the ones you don't know. They're gonna be like, did you go to the gym this morning? What happened? Did you go to the gym this morning? And tell people that do know you, because they're gonna hold you accountable. And even if they don't, because they coddle you, right? You're gonna do it because you know that they know.
Yeah. Thank you.
So what's your page gonna be called?
My page? Oh, for doing all this? Take the ride.
That's perfect. That's marketable, because when you start doing it, that is something you need to stop right now and walk someplace and buy that URL before some dude standing here listening buys it. Because that'll happen. The guy that fucks you over will be somebody that surprises you.
Yeah.
Go buy the URL, go get the Instagram, the Facebook, everything. Get the .com and the .net, and go do that right now. If you need the money, I'll give it to you.
Right on.
Do you need the money?
No.
Well, then walk out of here and go get it.
All right.
Or sit down now.
All right.
All right. I wish somebody would have told me that. I spent a lot of time. The truth is I'm lazy. And the truth is I don't think that I've done enough. I don't think I raised my kids as good as I could have. I don't think I've run my business the way it should have. I don't think I'm friends to my friends the way I should be. But I never asked that question of anybody for anybody to tell me that.
Powerful. And for anyone curious, what is the name of your current podcast?
It's called The Tinker Tribe.
Tinker Tribe. Yep. Tinker
That's a
Tribe.
good name, too.
The Tinker
That's
Tribe.
a good name. Where is it?
You can find it on YouTube or Odyssey right now.
Good. Holy shit, it's Ho Chi Minh.
All right, we got time for a couple more. Who wants to ask John a question? Someone make the pregnant woman run.
I didn't realize you were pregnant until like 1 minute ago.
I actually don't have a question for John, but I want to ask this guy that you've been talking to, fellow with the hat on.
Closer to your face.
Taxation without representation guy. Hey, why should I follow your YouTube channel? Tell me about it. Feel me inspired with it. Make us all go there and follow you, dude. Don't say, I have a channel. Say what the channel is and why we should go there. Because I want to follow you, but I want to know like what it's about.
Wait, let me run over there first.
You're not the guy that tagged me with the combat cocks on this thing with the other guy and the chick?
No, I didn't do any of that. No, the reason you should go check out my channel is I try to bring on a lot of different guests that are trying to create solutions in their own lives that we can all draw from, we can all learn from. And I come from a philosophy of agorism, which means that we can get around the state by using the black and gray markets. So by withdrawing some of the money that goes in our form of taxes through like sales taxes and things like that, if we can work together and form our communities, then we can basically get around a lot of the state, like Jack says, a lot of stage jujitsu things. You can start thinking more creatively about how you can solve your problems and work with each other to figure out how you can create value between each other. So that's a lot of what my podcast goes into. I try to talk philosophy, I cover current events, I bring on guests, and so I hope people get value out of it. I really want to see humanity thrive, and that's the main purpose behind what I'm doing with the channel. Is there's so much negative crap out there that people are always shoving in our face through the media, but there's so many solutions. Like there's all this new technology that we can use to our advantage to accelerate our progress and, be able to take care of ourselves instead of having to rely on somebody else. So that's the main thing that I talk about, and why I think that if you like it, come check it out, come subscribe, and I'd really appreciate it.
I have some questions real quick before we move on.
What kind of cryptocurrency are you holding?
Monero, Pirate Chain.
There's this other thing you might not have heard of. It's called Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. I held Bitcoin. I hold
Hodl.
Ethereum. Ethereum, some Litecoin. And I'm big into the privacy space, so.
Never mind. I was going to say, if you cashed it out, what would it be in dollars right now?
Don't answer that. Okay.